Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Join us on Twitter, Cascade Hoop Talk. Take care of your family. Hope you're staying safe. In the meantime, you have Cascade Hoops Talk to listen to. Today we have Brevin Sloup. He's a sharp shooting guard from Concordia, Nebraska in the G-Pack. Brevin hit 91 threes this season. He shot the long ball at 40%. In his All-American honorable mention career, Brevin scored more than 1,200 points and dished 250 assists. He and his teammates terrorized the G-Pack late in the season. They won their last 7 games against G-Pack opponents, and the streak was capped off by a stunning upset of Dakota Wesleyan at the Corn Palace. Welcome, Brevin. I'm really glad to have you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Brevin, I'm assuming you grew up in Seward. You played high school ball there?
Yep, that's correct. I've lived in Seward all 22 years of my life. Grew up here. Did my early schooling here in Seward, then went on to Seward High School, and then had a pretty successful career at Seward High School. So,
yeah, you scored over 1,000 points in your high school career. You were, a local hoop star, and then you made the decision to stay at home and go to school at Concordia. Can you talk about what drove that decision to go to Concordia?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, a lot of people know I love the town of Seward, my hometown of Seward. So, I mean, that obviously played a big role in going to Concordia. I just had a great connection with the coaches right from the bat when they started recruiting me throughout my high school career. I really felt like they believed in me and really saw a good fit at Concordia. So I knew I'd have a lot of opportunity at Concordia. Probably the biggest factor going into it, though, was just the whole faith aspect of the Concordia. Just being able to grow spiritually in every aspect of life. I mean, you got teachers, all faculty members, coaches. I mean, relationship with Jesus Christ is really, really important at Concordia, and I feel like I really grew spiritually in my time at Concordia. So
it was a good fit for you personally, for your faith, and also for basketball. It was really kind of a triple threat for you then, it sounds like.
Yep, absolutely, for sure. And just looking back at my 4 years, it was everything I ever dreamed it would be, so it was a lot of fun. So.
Well, as I said, you had an excellent career there. You scored well over 1,000 points, actually over 1,200. This year, your senior season, it was a little bit up and down. Let's just talk our way through the season, if that works for you.
Yep.
You started out 5-0, and then you beat Midland first game of the G-Pack, and then Briarcliff came to town. Do you remember that game?
Oh yeah, very, very well. I mean, like you said, we were playing pretty well, 5-0. Won our first GPAC conference game against Midland to get things rolling off. Then Briarcliff came to town, and I mean, we played. It was just a really good battle between both teams. But they ended up hitting a 3-point basket at the buzzer to beat us. We were up by 2. They hit a 3 in the corner to win it. So it was obviously a really heartbreaking loss.
That game really had to sting. And again, just looking at it from afar, that seemed to knock you guys off balance just a little bit. You went over you played Doane and you beat them in overtime. And then you had, in the GPAC, just a brutal next 3 games. You had to play Dakota Wesleyan at full strength. Then you traveled to Morningside, and you had them. Talk about that Morningside game before Christmas.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like you said, it was a tough one to swallow. I mean, we were up I think we led basically the whole entire game, and we ended up fouling with like 6 seconds or so, and they hit 2 free throws to go by 1. And I mean, it was just a heartbreaker. I mean, they were the number 1 team at the time, hadn't lost yet, at their place. I mean, I mean, we played really, really well. They played really well. So it was a great battle. And I think, I mean, even coming out with the loss, I think that really gave us confidence, kind of knowing what we could do, and just obviously competing with the best team in the country. So that was a big confidence booster, even though we didn't get the win. But
well, in that game, you and Carter Kent specifically, especially in the first half, you guys could seem like you couldn't miss. Mm-hmm. You really had Morningside on their heels. I have a question about that. So I got to watch your team a few times play. How important was Chul Beal to you and Tanner and Carter to be able to shoot from the outside, because he could tie up so much in the middle?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I give a lot of credit to Chol because I mean he's one of those glue guys that doesn't get a lot of recognition, but he impacts the game. I mean, just so many different ways. I mean, like you said, just like setting screens, getting guys open. He's unselfish on offense. He's not. He's not. I mean, there's no plays being drawn up for him, but he's just doing the dirty work, getting like offensive putbacks, setting screen for guys. And I mean, on defense, he just makes a big impact defensively. I mean, just protecting the rim, rebounding. I mean, it's a nice assurance when you're out guarding on the perimeter. You know, you got Joel behind you because you know he's gonna protect the rim pretty well for us. So, like I said, he played a huge role throughout the year. I mean, just doing dirty work and didn't really get the recognition he deserved. But no, he was a big impact for our team for sure.
Well, Brevin, that's why I wanted to ask you about him because the times I watch, obviously, you and Tanner and Carter just shoot the heck out of the ball, and you know you get a lot of recognition for it, and rightfully so. But you wouldn't be able to do that if people didn't have to worry about Chul Bill underneath, and then also he pulls down the. Sometimes the best pass in basketball is a missed 3-pointer, you know, because they could go so wild.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I thought he was a big part of your team. You know, after that loss at Morningside, then you went over to Mount Marty, and before you talk about that game, at that point, I think that was mid-December, had people kind of figured out that Mount Marty wasn't the old Mount Marty yet? Did you guys know what to expect when you played them?
Oh, I mean, I think so. I think we did know how good they were. I mean, I think they went and beat Dakota Wesleyan before they played or something. I mean, a really good team. I mean, they were undefeated, I believe, when we went and played them. So I knew we knew what we were getting into. I mean, like just getting into that game a little bit. That was probably one of the worst games we played all year. Probably one of the worst games of my time at Concordia, just playing in 4 years. I mean, credit to them. I think they broke their school record from the 3-point line. So I mean, they shot lights out. And I mean, we just didn't play very well. So, but hats off to them. They played great. But yeah, that was definitely a tough loss for us, especially coming off that Morningside game. I mean, when we played so well, and then following it up with that, it was tough. But
Brevin, when you say you didn't play so well, do you mean just a shooting, or was it just a low energy? What do you mean when not play well?
Yeah, I mean, like we had a lot of turnovers. I mean, just a lot of forced quick shots, just stuff like that. So I mean, we knew. I mean, I think the energy was okay, but I mean, just we knew we weren't as bad as that game showed. I mean, that's like turnovers and stuff like that. You know, you can clean that stuff up. So
absolutely.
But
so you lose to Mount Marty, and all of a sudden you're 2-4 in conference. So what was the mood of the team going into those the Christmas non-conference games? What was the mood of your team?
I think like you said, kind of starting off rough in the conference. I think we knew we could compete with some of these non-conference teams that we were playing up in Hawaii, and I mean we lost to Mid-American Nazarene. They're a really solid team. I mean we played pretty well. They beat us towards the end of the game. I think we were up that whole game, and then we played Menlo, another really good team, and ended up beating them. But yeah, I mean, I think that was a big confidence booster. I mean, just beating Menlo and kind of getting back in the win column. But it was just nice to get away from a couple conference games, play some non-conference games, and so yeah.
Yeah, that's. I was going to ask you about that because you mentioned Menlo. They're a good team, and then you went back home before you got back into GPAC play. You beat Peru State, another NAIA D1 school. So you had a couple of big wins there.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, the Menlo one was huge, and then like you said, the Peru State. We shot really, really well. That was a good just overall team win. Like you said, Peru's a really solid team, and that's kind of a trap game. I mean, coming off a Christmas trip back when I remember that game really well. Like there was hardly anybody in the crowd. I mean, so we had to create a lot of our own energy that night, and we ended up playing really, really well. So that was definitely a big win for us.
Yeah, those home games when the students are gone, those sometimes can be a bit quiet, can't they?
Yeah, for sure.
So the reason I want to ask you that is because you came off those two big non-conference wins, and then you won 10 out of 11 after Christmas. You did drop one against Morningside, but they were really on a roll. But you won 10 out of 11. Mm-hmm. So, just generally talk about that streak. How good did you feel about the season at that point? You guys were on a roll.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody was feeling really well. I mean, like I said before, we knew how good of a team we were, and we knew we could play with, anybody really in the country. So yeah, we just kept rolling. I mean, it was just the nice thing was we were just. I felt like we were so balanced this year with the guys just doing multiple things. I mean, scoring, just all kinds of things. We were just really balanced as a team, and that really helped us on that win streak for sure.
So in the middle of that win streak, you had lost at home to Briarcliff, but you got the chance to go to the Cliff, and
Yep.
they had you by 3 at half.
Yep.
But Brevin, you scored 28 points in that game. How determined were you to redeem that loss against Briarcliff?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that was definitely a big game. I mean, just like you said, losing that game early on in the year on a buzzer beater, especially, and it was yeah, we were all excited to play that night. But I really remember that game really well because that was a special night for me. That was actually the night I went over 1,000 points. I was actually 27 points away from 1,000 that night, and ended up getting 28. So that was really special. But I mean, just overall as a team, we played really well. And I mean, Briarcliff is another tough place in the conference to go up and play and win. So that was definitely a big momentum boost for us.
Oh, Brevin, how sweet was that? You go to Briarcliff, which, like you say, is a tough place,
Yep.
and you end up breaking 1,000 points there. So I got a question for you. Did they give you the game ball?
I did not I did not get the ball. I did not get the ball. So I guess that was one bad thing about doing it away from home. But yeah, I did not get the ball that night.
Oh, I was just curious how generous they were with it.
Yeah, no, no.
So toward the end of the GPAC season, there was a big game at Jamestown. They had you by 13 at half,
Yep.
and you fought your way back to get to overtime. Big game. That thing propelled you into the playoffs. Tell us about that game.
Yeah, no, that was honestly, I mean, probably one of the top most fun games we played all year, I would say. I mean, like you said, we were down by 13 and a half. I think early in the second half, we were down as many as by 18, I think. We got down by 18. And honestly, I mean, being down by 13 and a half, I still felt like I remember it really vividly. I mean, in the locker room, I mean, there was just a lot of confidence in the locker room still being down 13 and a half. I remember that. I mean, we knew I had a really good feeling about we were going to come out. I mean, come back, and it was just a really special. I mean, we started going on a run second half, and then once we got into overtime, I mean, we knew we were going to win that. I mean, we I mean, just had all the confidence, all the momentum in the world, and it was definitely a huge win because winning that game, that allowed us to host the first round in the conference tournament. So there was a lot of weight on that game, and we knew that too. So it was definitely a big win for us.
Yeah, you ended up pretty much you won by quite a. You ended up winning by 9 in overtime.
Yep.
So in the tournament, you started with Northwestern, right?
Yep, correct.
And then you beat them by 10, 11 actually. And then you beat Hastings, and you had to be a little bit nervous about that Hastings game because they had just come off a huge victory at Morningside.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
But you ended up beating them by 10, and that set the stage. You went to the Corn Palace. And everybody in the world, including yours truly, Billy D, said that the Corn Palace is going to be too much for Concordia. I mean, you got to talk. Number one, talk about playing in the Corn Palace, playing against Ty Hoagland, and then coming out of there victorious. What an amazing way to top off your GPAC career.
No, absolutely. I mean, that was probably the most fun game I've had in my career, honestly. Like you said, just the Corn Palace. It was just an amazing atmosphere. I'm sure you're aware, but people that don't know, they just live and die Dakota Wesleyan basketball up there. So I mean, you got fans packed in there. It was an amazing night. Like you talked about, Ty Hoagland, his last game ever at the Corn Palace, he knew he'd come out guns blazing. He had a heck of a game. He had a heck of a career. Props to him on his amazing career. But yeah, it was just an unbelievable night at the Corn Palace. I mean, we were talking about it before the game. I mean, it would have been awesome to have to host the GPAC championship game, but where else better spot to play than the Corn Palace? Because I mean, the atmosphere was just absolutely electric. The building was shaking throughout the game. It was just a lot of fun. So it was a special night.
Well, I got to paraphrase something Hoagland said about Kyle Mangus. Oofda, that's a big boy win. That was
That's funny.
and I'll apologize to all apologies to you, Ty, but got to give Concordia props. That was a huge win. So that you weren't going to that was the only way you were going to get a ticket to the tournament. You had to
Yep,
win
yep,
that game.
yep,
So
yep.
you prepare for the tournament. You draw a 7 seed. That was a low seed for the way you guys were playing. You know,
Yep.
it just all falls out, and I don't know exactly everything that goes into it, but
Hmm.
you got matched up with Ottawa, and I got to tell you, I did pick Concordia. So
Hmm.
everybody in Seward just don't. But I did pick Concordia in that game. So when you guys started to prep for Ottawa? How did you feel about going into that matchup?
Honestly, I think everybody was feeling really confident going in. I mean, like I tell a lot of people, just playing in the GPAC. I honestly do. I mean, I'm biased saying this, but I believe the GPAC is the best conference in the country. I feel like. I mean, if not one of the best. I mean, but yeah. So I just playing night in, night out against GPAC teams. I feel like that really prepares you for for the best teams around the country. So I mean, going in, I think we were really confident, especially just going off the run we went on to end the conference year. I think everybody was really confident going into the game.
I'm trying to remember how the game laid out. You were up late, and
Yep.
then the I thought that their quickness and athleticism, they seemed to
Yep.
really turn it up in the last
Yep.
two
For
minutes,
sure.
minute and a half. They
Yeah.
really
No,
gave
we
you
were.
trouble.
Yeah. No. Yeah. We were up by 12 with 6 minutes to go, and they started to press us, and we just had some uncanny turnovers, which led to a lot of easy layups for them, easy baskets, and they like you said, I think just their athleticism, their quickness, that just put a lot of pressure on us, for sure. But
Yeah, you seemed to have a hard time regrouping after the first couple of turnovers, and then Daryl Bowie, heck of a basketball player.
yeah, for sure, yeah, absolutely.
And I think he hit no, he didn't. The other guy hit a 3 late to kind of ice it, but
Yeah.
that had to be pretty disappointing. But you must have been really proud of your effort as a 7 seed and playing nose to nose with Otto all the way.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we knew going in how good Ottawa was. I mean, I think they were ranked fifth in the country going into that game. So I mean, we had obviously had a lot of respect for them. We knew they'd be really good, and they like hats off to them. I mean, they played a great, especially great second half. And they pulled it out. But yeah, credit to them. They're definitely a great team.
So Brevin, you grew up there in Seward. You played your high school ball in Seward. You played your college ball in Seward. What are I know I'm putting you on the spot here. We didn't talk about this before, but are there 2 or 3 moments that you'll just absolutely never forget in all your basketball time at Seward?
I think in terms of my high school career, probably just getting to 1,000 points and becoming the all-time leading scorer at Seward High School. I mean, no one had ever scored 1,000 points at Seward High School, so to be the first person ever to do that, that was obviously something really special. And then in terms of college, I mean, it's got to be just this whole season as a whole, but definitely I would say the win at the Corn Palace. I mean, that was just an unbelievable night to win the conference for the first time in 15 years for Concordia. I mean, it was just really special, and just like I said before, the Corn Palace atmosphere just unbelievable. So I would say definitely those are probably my two favorite moments for sure.
Well, I think it's safe to say people in Seward will not forget your exploits on the hardwood for many, many years. So, what's your plan now? Yeah, are you about to graduate?
Yep. No, yeah, I'm on pace to graduate here. And then I got a degree in business administration, and I come from kind of a farming background. So I think I kind of want to do something involved in agriculture. So I don't know exactly what yet, but I think I definitely want to end up doing something in the ag field. So,
So, are you guys doing like a lot of other schools? Spring classes will pretty much be online.
yep, correct. Yeah, we got fully shut. I mean, Concordia's fully shut down. We're all online now for the rest of the semester. So it's definitely an adjustment, but it's an adjustment for everybody. But so yeah, I mean, it's kind of unfortunate to end my senior year like this, but we're making do. So
Well, Brevin, I really appreciate you coming on, and you had a great career there, and you should be really proud of it. So thank you very much for being on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun.